And we should be live. Let me go ahead and check. And yes, we are in fact live. Awesome. All right. Hello, everyone. Ace here. Welcome to today's live stream. I'm joined today with returning guest Urososium.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Uros. And today we are back with another comic. Brand new High Republic comic. This time we're looking at having a look at Star Wars The High Republic Adventures Crash Landing. This is a one-shot comic, so the good news is this is going to be a one-and-done sort of situation with this particular comic book series. So, yay, I guess. The bad news is the writer. Once again, we are dealing with Daniel Jose Older. It is a lengthier comic book issue than what we're used to, I think, as it says it's 35 pages. We'll see if all of them are comic book, are actually of the story or whatnot, but yeah.
I don't know, but I think we could have done with just one. Because the cover is enough for me to close this comic.
Yeah, the artwork on the front cover is not very good. At least you could argue it's honest advertising, what with it being comparable to what you see in the actual inside.
Well, yeah,
or at least compared to
one of the few things the other comics in the High Republic series have as a positive, and not all times either, is the cover. They at least put some effort into it. Here, no.
Yeah. I'm wondering if they're trying to say that... I love how you have very obvious scribbles on the side here. That's presented as if it's somehow an actual serious project.
Serious. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see here. So we have Star Wars The High Republic Adventures Crash Landing, written by Daniel Jose Older. So let's see how many people had to read the story of this comic before we got to see it. So we've got Daniel Jose Older, 1. We've got the letterers, Comic Craft's Tyler Smith and Jimmy Betancourt, so 2 and 3. We have an editor for Spencer Cushing and Matt Dryer, whatever. So that's 4 and 5.
1 second on my end. I have to get up.
Okay. Well, we'll wait until he gets back. But yeah, we're gonna see how many editors he and everyone who has read this are at. So we'll just restart once he's back. So that's okay. It shouldn't be too long. Anyways, I do hope everyone is having a lovely April Fool's Day. I know I am, and I might just so happen to have a few... well, I've been having a look at a few things going on in the news. I don't know if I will cover anything specific, but I can tell you this. I do have a video I've been working on, which I'm going to try to upload today. We'll see if... It's not an April Fool's video, for the record. This is going to be...
Okay, I am back. I have April's Fools.
All right. Siege says, hello there, YouTube ads are awful. I can't blame you on that. You're not exactly wrong. They do pay me on YouTube now, though, so yay on that, I suppose. But yeah,
I am surprised we haven't made an oopsie at this point.
Give it time. Although it could be a case of YouTube basically running out of money and needing to actually let people that could make videos before continue to make them, but I digress. Anyways, so let's see how many people actually were involved and had to actually read the story before we, the general public, got to read it. So we've got Daniel Jose Older as the writer. We got the 2 letterers, Tyler Smith and Jimmy Betancourt, so that's 3 so far. We've got Spencer Cushing and Matt Dryer as editors, so 4 and 5. Assistant editors, we've got Joe Cavanaugh and Freddie Meyer, so 6 and 7. We also have the story... we'll go with the story film. Or for Lucasfilm, we've got the senior editor, so Robert Simpson. So that's... What are we up to? 8 now? Associate editor, Grace Orris. 9.
Yes, we are at 9.
And then we have the story group. So Matt Martin, 10, Pablo Hidalgo, 11, and Emily Shukukani, which is 12 people in total, had to read the story of this comic book before it got to us, the general public. And that's...
As we saw last time, when they finally upped it to 12, it just gets worse the more people you add.
And that's assuming the creative director and the publisher never read it. Which, I'm going to give those two the benefit of the doubt, because technically, you could argue they never read it. Honestly, one has to wonder if anyone reads these from the way that they are actually written, but I digress. Siege says, I will say, though, I did see a decent ad on mobile today, paint swatches, they advertise weird stuff to me. Speaking of weird, let's see where we go tonight. Woo! Yeah, let's...
I don't know if you are aware that back when Spain had a small empire, you could say, there was a lot of people that had work, technically speaking, that they did not do because it was never done, like inspecting parrots. I am pretty sure that the editors on these comics are the same thing. They just get paid because no one is going to check this.
Indeed. Alright, so let's carry on. Star Wars The High Republic, Trials of the Jedi. It is a time of great turmoil. A year has passed since the destruction of the Starlight Beacon Station by the nefarious Marchion Ro and his Nihil marauders. The Nihil have established an occlusion zone in the Outer Rim, stranding hundreds of worlds behind their storm wall. Communications are blocked, and ships that enter are lost to the void or destroyed by the Nihil. The Republic is helpless against this sinister threat, and the brave and wise Jedi Knights remain fearful of Ro's fabled nameless creatures, which the Jedi have learned are very real and very deadly.
I just want to remind everyone that this guy spent how much? At least 3 months, if not more, sitting on a throne, doing nothing. And the Republic is helpless.
4 months. 4 months, and the shit that he did do, he didn't even really do himself, he just had everything handed to him for a full year. But we know for a fact...
Still more competent than the Republic.
Or the Jedi. Or the brave and wise Jedi who remain fearful of the Nameless.
At this point, it is not even a joke.
No, sadly, it's not. Alright, let's continue.
Yeah.
Corellia, then. Okay. I guess I can voice this character who we get a back story of sitting in front of a tree for years.
Well,
because
I don't think. Well, if you want to voice this character, okay, but I think the one saying crash is someone else. Let me check the next page.
I think this is the same character, to be honest.
I'm still not sure. I think it is the big guy in the cover, but
let's see what the cover is. I think it is this character in the middle here. But yeah, I think this is in fact the same character, and this. I'm trying to see if there's any evidence that trees might have more trees might have grown, but I'm not really seeing it because the artwork is shit. So, where a skilled artist would have made it easy to tell, oh, this you can see the stuff growing around. Clearly, this is different years. It's Daniel Jose Older, and technically Daniel Jose Older didn't actually create the artwork, but it's the artist here who's at fault for not depicting the fact that the tree is growing bigger and all that, to depict the fact that this character has grown up over here. Not that it's that important so far from what I've seen, because, why you couldn't just cut this bit out and just let the audience assume that this is the start of this character's big adventure and that they've been on this planet pretty much all their life is I don't know why they did this, is what I'm saying. But let's go ahead and voice this character.
Other than because we need 1 page to waste. Because you said how long was this comic? 35?
35 pages. Siege says, I do know of an instance of a company altering the credits on work for diverse reasons. And, oh God, what is this art? Yeah, I know, the artwork is not very good.
Well, it is on par with what we are going to read. So.
I mean, the artwork is so bad that I can't tell if this pink blob on the side of this character's hip is some sort of pouch, or if the artist just failed to have the pants cover over her flesh. It looks like her body is clipping out of her pants, is what I'm saying.
Yes. I am not going to make assumptions with what we see. You saying.
For all I know, it probably could be, because this... Who knows? Maybe they found some way to computer generate this, and this is the best the artist could come up with computer.
I am pretty sure that artificial intelligence will do a better job than this.
Yeah. Siege says, the bar for quality is so low, I'm actually stunned.
Are you?
Well, we're just getting started, so let's see if it goes any lower. Crash?
Oh my God. That face.
Crash? Oh, her name is Crash? Are you fucking kidding me?
I hadn't realized that until now.
You could... Okay, this character is not Crash Bandicoot, for one thing.
No, Crash is actually good.
Yeah, Crash Bandicoot is actually good. This Crash is an embarrassment to Crash so far. And yes, we can confirm that this is indeed all just her going through her memories for no explicable reason. I'm reminded of that one scene from Chicken Run. I saw the light flashing before my eyes. It was rather boring.
More or less like this comic.
Yeah, Siege says, the ink job is total trash. I want to see the pencils for this. And he's laughing again. Right.
Do you really want to see anything else from this? Siege.
So I guess I'll voice it as the big dude. Crash? Come on, Crash. It's time. Right. All right. I guess I can.
I was going to ask. They are in the correct order, right? Let's go from top to bottom, because you are never sure with how they write this.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to assume it's in order. Rekalos. Fezonk is his name. Air support and muscle. Okay, something with regards to air support or starfighters in general. The cockpits tend to be pretty tight fits.
Yes, except the last time we saw a fighter when they fit 4 people with enough space for at least 2 more. But yes, when they are well made, they are tight. This man is huge. Let's put it that way.
Having actually been in the actual cockpit of aircraft before, I can tell you, this dude ain't gonna fit in one of those. It's at least not in the cockpit, the pilot seat. That ain't just not gonna happen.
I mean, I may see him fitting in a turret, but not in a fighter.
But he's air support, meaning that he's supposed to be doing this presumably on his own if he's the dedicated air support, which means he's supposed to be the pilot.
Yeah, something ain't right here.
There's a reason why people make fun of Porkins in the original trilogy. There's a couple of reasons, actually, but...
Yeah.
But yeah, a character like... no. Siege says, this is what happens when you accept soft cookie dough. It brings up my inner art director. I want to check, recheck, redraw, redraft, redraw, rewrite, and generally beat these creators into submission. Me too! Me too. Right. Let's do this. What's the where, why?
What?
What? Okay, so the leader forgot the fucking mission. She forgot the fucking mission, why they're even there in the first place, and she's having her underlings have to explain it to her all over again.
This is like the last time we were on a comic and we read, what? Only for different reasons.
Alright, Elise Crash Agnoa, hit squad leader. You want to voice the next character?
The apparently old lady? Or
Yes, the old lady is next, I think.
Yeah, because you had the big guy. Got eyes on him. Come on, baby. Come to mama.
Benu Agnoa. Tactical artillery support. Crash's mom. Why? Okay, so, couple questions. Why is the daughter the leader of this group? I mean, imagine giving orders to your own parent. Or hell, imagine having to take orders from your own kid.
Well, I don't have words for this one.
We're getting the characterization, and it's already turning into a fucking shit show. So we got the backstory of two separate characters. We've got the mom and the daughter all in one.
And from what I just read, we also have the main character's girlfriend. So
yeah, you want to voice that character?
The robot or the other woman?
I'll let you pick, but you can have them both. How's that?
Let's see how it goes. Do you have to read the big guy first?
Oh yeah, right. The target's headed this way. We got him.
Okay, let's go for the robot. Your car, Master Crash.
10K8 caffeine support. Wait, do they have coffee in Star Wars?
I don't think I have ever seen coffee, as in, well, calf, yes, but at this point I'm not sure. Well, let's go with the four-armed girl.
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure you are okay, love?
Svid Aktapat. Whatever the hell. Okay, her name is Svi.
Yes.
No, it's Svino. Okay. Svino Aktapat. Emotional support / recon. Crash's girlfriend.
The fact that we need a dedicated position for emotional support and that it is the captain's girlfriend.
Yeah. Why the shouldn't the squad leader if there's anyone that's offering emotional support, should it not be the squad leader involved in that?
Well, yes, because if the squad leader needs emotional support, that means that the leader is weak.
Yes, for one thing. Two, it should be having a dedicated emotional support like this seems like it would be the sort of thing that would cause conflicts within the chain of command.
I mean, at this point, we have 4 people in this group, and 2 are related in one way or another to the leader.
Yeah, that's already another thing, too. The fact that what the mom is the subordinate to the daughter is another conflict of the chain of command.
This is a mess.
And that's not even covering the fact that, you know, you have a mom and daughter in the same unit, meaning that you already have could be very easily an argument of this is a case of nepotism. There's so many things fucked up with this already. Siege says, emotional support. Wow, this is going to go so well. I know.
Siege, we have been in the second page for almost 20 minutes.
Jesus. Yeah, yes, we have. All right. And I almost skipped a page because of I was just hung up that much on that one panel.
Okay, you still have the. I think you are first in the last two speech bubbles.
All right, so DPS says everything else. DPS everything else says. Wait, what is this ship even? I don't know. This is from a new High Republic comic book series they've introduced. Technically, this is a one-off, so that's the good news, meaning that we won't have to ever see this one-shot comic ever again once we're done with it. Well, except for me. I've got to make shorts out of it. We're probably going to be busy into the summer with shorts from this one. DPS also says, and why is the four-armed chick from Elden Ring here? Good question. I'm wondering why Toth can now. I'm wondering why Toth from Avatar can now see and is in here as well.
Please, let's not bring good things here.
Okay, and also, okay, I'm going to chew this out too. But you see, this guy very clearly has the horn-looking things on the bottom of his face. On that panel. Look at how they're presented in the front page. They're pointing the opposite direction. They can't even get the artwork to depict the front cover fucked up his face.
You are expecting these to be consistent.
No, but I am going to point it out when they screw up, and this is a screw up, all right.
Yes, well, look at the pink hair's arm and hand in your panel.
In the bottom panel?
Yes.
Okay, what did they do to the arm and hand? So, I see they moved the bandages a little bit. They were on the fingers.
Well, other than that, I just mean it is horribly drawn.
Yes. I've seen N64 games with better looking hands than this.
I miss polygons. But yeah, let's continue before we spend half an hour in this page.
Alright. Siege says, oh Jesus, don't go back to that cover again, please. Okay. We'll try to avoid that. I can't make any promises, but we'll try to avoid that. Let's carry on. Excuse me. You are my mama, not that guy's. Thank you very much. Binox. Imagine being triggered over the phrase, come to mama. No wonder this character needs emotional support.
I think she needs a padecer, but okay.
DPS says, how does this cover look worse than most of the comic? We've not seen most of the comic yet. Also, the mom has no neck.
Because why not? Oh, God. You're always so touchy when you woke from your nap.
What?
What?
So she just woke up as she's standing there. What? Also, okay, so since we have more things to bitch about, since I had time to look in the background, look at the panel on the left side. Okay, on the middle panel, look at the keypad on the far left there. Look at the quality of that artwork on that keypad.
Can't you use at least a fucking ruler to make a straight line?
No! That's too difficult. Hell, look at the thing surrounding it. Even the lines aren't straight. What the fuck is this? Oh my god. There's more. They can't fucking draw straight lines. There's more on the right side too. That's the exact same problem. There's little bits. There's a little overhang on the little right hand side here. Because again, they can't draw straight lines.
Ace, it's no longer a joke. I am disgusted with what we are seeing.
And the panel below that, the window panes are fucked up too. This artwork, my god! I'm noticing more and more stuff to get pissed off about the more I look at it.
Hey, Siege, how are you? Does it hurt?
Even the soda can is fucked up on the bottom left. Wait, why are there soda cans in Star Wars?
Because why not? Oh, Siege is back.
Siege is back. Welcome back, Siege. DPS says she sleeps standing up like a true Jedi. No, the lopsided keypad is quirky and it's intentionally bad, so you know it's hand-drawn. Well, I know it's hand-drawn, but no, that's not quirky, that's trash. Like, when I can probably draw things better myself, you know you fucked up.
I mean, I am shit at drawing. I am horrible, but I think give me enough time, and I probably can do it better than this. Again, this is the second page, and it is painful.
Let's see if it gets any more painful. Everyone in position?
Tunnel Team 12, trailing from underground, but
Let me guess, Rue?
He missed the last check-ins. I'm sure he's fine.
Okay, I get to bitch even more about the artwork now, because look at the middle panel. The dude is transparent. You can see details going through him because apparently he's just transparent now.
Yes,
Like this little foot here, you can see the pavement in the background. That someone cleared you. Or the bag. The bag, you can see stuff. Because at least the bag, you could argue in theory, might be transparent, but his fucking foot too?
This is... Would you call it incompetence or laziness?
Both.
Or both.
Definitely both. And also, next panel, look at the bars! They can't even draw the line all the way to the other stuff like it's supposed to be. And the other bars are bent hell back.
This is horrible. And it is getting worse.
Siege says, whatever room that is pretty messy. Yes, it is. Another thing. At least you could argue that the artist was most likely drawing from experience on that. But Siege also says, I know I can do better. Literally, I can literally draw and ink better than this. I probably can too. And also, the one thing you probably should do digitized would be the numbers here on the actual binoculars. Why they are hand-drawn is a big fucking mystery to me, too. Don't do this, artists. If there's one thing where you can actually go ahead and make digitized, it would be this. Also, they missed a little bit right here because there's a little bit we're not supposed to see that comes through, but details, I suppose.
At least, if you are going to do this, do it straight. It is not hard to use a fucking ruler.
I know. Let's carry on. I'm not.
Yes, yes, it was you. Okay, go ahead.
I'm not worried about him. I'm worried about. I'm not worried about him. I'm worried we won't hear any info out of Kroger before he. Wait, that's Rue, Kark's star. Move in, everyone, now. Why this character is completely invisible from this metal beam down is beyond me. Or this metal pipe down is beyond me.
Okay, next page shows me that it is impossible to not see him.
Yes. Okay, I was going to be fucking pissed if they made him invisible. But no, there's still something to be pissed off about because look at this! It's not even lined up with the edge of the wall here on the left panel. My God, is this artwork trash?
I want to go back to the cover and not read this, Ace. I want to get away.
And also, did that bag and stuff that he's got in his hands just phase through the support pipe there?
Yes. Is that a question? The answer is yes.
Apparently. Alright, do you want to voice this character or should I?
I can try. Three little Miriam sit one wall. Two little Miriams are in a...
Hello, Kroger Shim.
Hey, now, listen. I left the night here on good terms. I just need a break after everything on Corellia.
Also, he had his bag in the other hand. Did he just throw it through the fuck behind his back? Or did he? Was he holding it in the other hand now all of a sudden for no explicable reason?
I don't know. Again, consistency. Griff, a Jedi, an Annihil gear, Annihil Jedi. What?
Rue, hit squad, Chaos Agent, former Padawan. Neither.
Time up. Is every fucking reject in the Jedi in this universe allowed to keep everything?
Apparently so. Also, what the fuck do they mean by Chaos Agent?
I don't know. To me, that sounds like a possible terrorist.
Siege says, told you, man, stunned. Winter's King says, how bad is it? Siege says, bad. I'm not laughing as much as normal. Yeah, part of the problem is the artwork in this is especially god-awful. Holy shit, I found yet another thing to bitch about. Okay, so see on the left one, where they screwed up and the wall does not connect to the stairs here. Next panel, you can see the stairs, the wall doesn't actually go in front of the stairs, or it's not supposed to, yet it does in the next panel and the panel after.
If we are to point everything, we are not going to get to the end.
Siege says, I can't even start on the art because every panel is borked.
You saying, I am not saying you have to stop. You're saying that we are going to stay here for 2 hours.
I know. See, Winter's King says, just realized you were live. The PS says, Chaos Agents are people who want to build a space wall. Yes, the Nihil did in fact build a space wall. and made the Republic pay for it.
Unironically in this case.
Yes. Alright, let's carry on with this pain. Neither, but does it matter what I am?
Not one bit, actually. Because either way, you're about to eat. Cleaver!
Why the fuck would you try fighting a Jedi or a Padawan with just a cleaver?
Look, that is not the most stupid thing. The most stupid thing is that you throw the weapon.
That too. Holy shit, they actually comment on why this is a bad idea. Never understood why people threw their weapons. Such a waste.
Oh, I can sort that one out for you. It's because we always have more, yeah?
Jum jum. Wait, is this guy an orc?
A scrawny orc? Yeah, why not?
He's got the daka, he's got the chopper.
One thing I never understood is why, when people all over know that even a Padawan can deflect blaster bolts back at you, you bring out a blaster. Do you think you are special or something?
Let's carry on.
Yes.
Kark, 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 kark. Zom, 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 zom. Rue, don't you dare. Vish, vish, vish. Tink. Still got it.
Why is this guy armed with the weapon he used through?
Another good fucking question. How did this character also sneak up behind her when she was running to the fight?
We have to assume that he snuck past the Padawan, grabbed the weapon, snuck past the Padawan again, because I am pretty sure he was at least trying to find him, and then found this woman. What? How did this happen?
Good question. TPS says, throwing the weapon made sense because he was holding an oversized knife, and he was switching to his far more useful double pistols. Honestly, at least the knife, if the lightsaber cut through it, parts of the knife could have melted and hit the Padawan in her face or something. Or his face, or I don't fucking know. But anyways, that could have at least in theory happened.
Yeah, I mean, don't they use solid ammo against laser sabers because the metal can still maybe hit the Jedi behind? I mean,
Yeah.
it is a tactic.
Yeah, that's something I've heard about, sure. DPS says, what happened to his guns? When did she switch to her gun? Also, question mark, and to be fair, he didn't just have a blaster, he had two, much harder to block two blaster bolts. Yeah, but
you're assuming this guy was aiming.
Yeah. Let's carry on.
Shall we continue then?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll murder you. I'll murder everyone you're ever.
Yes, yes, everyone I've ever loved, my favorite pet, heard them all before. Just don't say you're gonna murder my mom, 'cause trust me, she'll murder you first. Check.
Oh my god. This is cringe.
Yes, it is. Also, that is not the way to hold a firearm or a blaster. In this case, if you are near an enemy. That's basically just asking for it to be snatched away if he had any funny ideas.
Yes, and in the next panel, she is aiming at her supposed friend. Safety, people.
Yep, that too. Normally, I'd try to get some info out of you, but you tried to cut me in half just now. so I'm inclined to skip all that. As punishment for your role in the Nihil plot to infiltrate Corellia and subsequent war it caused,
Wait.
I hereby sentence you, Krager Sheem, to death.
Have you even tracked down the person responsible for the whole plot yet? Kriegskamerad!
Okay, I hope, for the love of God, that this is just some plan of hers to try to get information out of him. Also, the fact that the panel where there is no background image is the best looking panel so far should really highlight just how god-awful the artwork is. Like, they can't even get the lightsaber blade to be right. They have it drawn bent. The lightsaber blade is fucking bent. How the fuck do you manage it?
At this point, I think that being this bad is a skill.
DPS says, to be fair, I don't think the mom is a lesbian, so it's only one lesbian magically winning. Siege says, oh lord, fold his arms, spurk, two lesbians magically winning. Winter's King says, is that the lesbian character when she says her mom? She does in fact mean her literal biological mother, but don't worry, she is a lesbian because she's got a girlfriend. That's been 100% confirmed already. Winter's King says, is that the okay, APS says, oh god, that face. Siege says, everything else, I don't care. They seem to just be making shit up, so will I. It's just all awful. Winter's King says, worst action storyboarding I've ever seen. Yeah! Yes, it is. Alright, let's carry on. Coronet City. Wait, did I skip a page? No.
No.
Alright. Coronet City, Corellia.
Do you want to voice the guy or should I?
Yeah, I guess I can voice the guy and you voice the person on the intercom.
Okay. Arch Premier Bukwara, Ras Onwa is here to see you. She's very insistent.
Oh, this ought to be good.
And she wrote that...
It's alright, Didi. I'm coming out. Gah!
Kind of hot, weird guy with these freaky eyes? Who the fuck describes someone like that?
Good fucking question!
By the way, where are his feet?
Another good fucking question! Disney! Where we forget to draw feet. Wait, was this... Please tell me, was this a Marvel comic? I need to know right now if this was Marvel. No, it's Dark Horse. Fuck, it's Dark Horse. Dark Horse, where we forget to draw feet.
I remember when Dark Horse was the shit.
Before the dark times. Before the Disney. Siege says, right, new scene, new chance to hurt my eyes. And we already have it already. Where are his feet? No peace. Yokai says, to draw art, bad art, you need to be extremely skilled. Just look at Picasso. The better he got, the worse his paintings look. Winter's King says, oh, look, she has the evil bird eyes. Alright.
Yeah, there is a galaxy in the guy's eyes.
Let's go ahead and... I guess I can voice him. Hey, Arch Premier, congrats on the creepy new title. Sweet merciless void, I can't. Not the never-ending eyes. Ah! Oh, man. Alright, Rue, you can wait outside. Oh, man.
This was horrible to watch.
Don't you ever bring that guy into my office again. Do you hear me? Who, Rue? He's my bodyguard. He goes where I go. You didn't come to my inauguration. Oh, Crash, Crash, Crash. How can you be so jaded and naive at the same time? Practice? Oh, wait. Sorry, I missed a line there.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I don't like you, Bucknell. We've been over this. Oh, Crash, Crash, Crash. How can you be so jaded and so naive at the same time? Practice? Politics isn't about who you like. It isn't even about who you're willing to put up with. It's about who can keep you alive. You and I made a pact during the war, but the war's over now, and I won. Yes, I, not we. I am the one who sits on the side of the desk. In this office, my office, your services are no longer necessary. Okay. I like how this is becoming a critique of the far leftist concept of allies. How they're not really friends and can't even really tolerate each other. They're keeping each other from getting canceled, basically. Because let's face it, if anyone tries to critique far leftists by their own rule set, they come off as the most bigoted people out there. Which, to be fair, even if you didn't critique them by their own mindset, you'd actually quickly come to that realization.
Yeah, and as the guy just said, she's no longer needed. So that is also something that we see a lot in the real world. Yes,
we do. Also, that fucking telephone intercom thing. Look at how badly they drew it 4 different times.
Yeah, it gets worse.
Sage says, you didn't come to my party, Beta. Yeah, that is too. Winter King says, lol, Ace giving that character the lamest skater voice ever is hilarious. I think, yeah. DPS says, this guy has top-notch hair. Allies aren't a leftist concept. It's a method of gaining power that everyone should use and abuse. Siege says well, okay, so what I'm saying is how leftists define allies, or their concept of it. Yes. This is basically critiquing.
Hey, speaking of hair, look at the next page.
Yeah. Well, hair. Yeah, the hair's gone! They can't even draw the hair right consistently. Alright. Well...
Go ahead.
Alright, let's carry on. Well, I came because I was hoping you'd get me into a Republic prison, so I could find one of the chief architects of the Nihil incursion here. But clearly... Goodbye, Crash Agnoa. Try to steer clear of me forever. Okay, you wouldn't take her up on her opportunity to send her into a Republic prison by just sending her straight to Republic prison?
I mean, she's asking you. At this point, you are doing yourself a favor.
Yes. All right. So I get to do this guy again.
Yeah, or unless you want me to voice him, because you are talking a lot, you are going to end up hurting yourself.
I think I can manage for a little bit.
Okay.
So, question. We're gallivanting around the galaxy, taking out people who've helped destroy Corellia as we know it. You've seen Bucknell's plans, what he's about to do. Lots of people will suffer. It won't be safe for actual living beings when he's done with it. Just megacorps and tourists. Doesn't he fit the bill?
Wait. Actual living beings. You mean that everyone that works at the megacorps and the tourists don't count?
Yeah! Well, that's the leftist mindset for you. If you work at McDonald's, you're subhuman. Have you seen the way leftists treat people that work at McDonald's or Starbucks?
I think treating is not exactly the word I would use. More like beating in some cases.
Yeah.
By the way, you asked before, and yes, I think she was going to kill the other guy. Because heroes for these guys are those that kill everyone.
That is correct. All right, so Winner's King says, Ace, I just got mad. You're monetized? Yeah, I actually got my monetization back on January the 1st. YouTube finally caved in and let me get my channel remonetized, so I've been able to actually bring that back. And it feels good, man. I can tell you that much right now. Siege says, does he have a face? He's got his feet back and lost his face. Yeah, they didn't really draw his face much either in this. But let's be honest, the sheer number of stuff that they've screwed up so far, that's kind of... DPS says, everyone treats low-class workers like shit. Well, I can tell you this. The way that leftists in particular treat people that just do minimum wage work is beyond obscene. Some of the shit that I've seen them do. In person, for the record. I've seen them do shit in person that is completely beyond the pale. So
that is unsurprising.
Yeah. I mean, the people who have to constantly virtue signal, it turns out, have absolutely zero virtues whatsoever and are just ontologically evil scumbags. Who would have seen that coming?
No one, apparently.
Anyways, Yokai says, leftist, if you're not the head of the collective, aka corporations, you're not a living being. Yeah. DPS says he barely has a face on the cover at Siege. And Siege says, I wish I could make a joke about every panel, but I can't type fast enough. DPS says, the right always assume low-class workers are in this position because of some sort of personal failure. Not necessarily. I mean, there are cases where that is true, but the far-left position is the... But yeah, I kid you not, the far-left position, the way they treat them is actively worse, right? I've not seen a rhinoid try to get a worker fired, a cart pusher fired, because of how they pulled the rope when they're pulling shopping carts. I have, however, unironically seen leftists say things like, why are you pulling that cart with a rope like you're a slave? You know, trying to get a cart pusher canceled because of how they're pulling a fucking rope. I have seen that firsthand.
And why doesn't that surprise me?
It doesn't surprise you for a reason. It's because anyone who's had to deal with leftists know exactly how they tend to be.
Yes, I do.
DPS says,
when you have some of them in your family, you see a lot of shit.
DPS says, I hate this mentality of being able to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Absolutely sickening. Well, I mean, I would actually argue that there is something to be said positive about that, right? Because what is the implication of being able to pull yourself up by your bootstraps? It shows that you actually have actual agency, right? It shows that you're not just a mindless automaton. It's that you're not just some helpless sack of flesh, which is what the far left think when they think of poor people.
Yeah, because why not?
Let's see. Winner's King says, having been a worker at Dairy Queen in the past, we would literally have to take turns dealing with leftists, rainbow flag button wearers, because they were the worst and no one wanted to serve them. Yeah, I get that. Yokai says, grunts are the backbone of society and leftists only care about fronts, not backbones. Siege says, the leftist position is the reason they are poor, and that's why most people who have worked in retail know this. DPS says, I kind of like their tactics, power above all, and the ability to abuse it is so desirable. Fuck agency, it's a lie. Is it really, though? Is it really, though? Yeah, you can have a shit life. Yes, you can have every disadvantage thrown against you, and you still can ultimately come out ahead.
You just need a lot of effort and skill.
Hell, look at me. I've had to deal with YouTube trying to demonetize my channel for a year and a half. And I was actually able to take on YouTube and get my monetization back. Me, an ordinary guy, took on YouTube and got my monetization back. I fucking won that.
I mean,
yes, agency is a thing.
It is not exactly hard to win against these people. It is just tiring because they try until they cannot anymore.
DPS says nothing we can do except what we're ordered to and what opportunities are handed to us. I've never had a choice about anything that matters in my life. And luck and handouts are all that matter. Yeah, handouts actively make things worse, if you ask me. Or at least they can. And I will explain my position here real quick. Here's the thing about handouts. There is one advantage that if you're a working class Joe, you have over the rich people. And it's the fact that you've had to actually earn your shit for a living. If you've never had to work a day in your life because you had everything handed to you, then that is a significant disadvantage. That is a disadvantage that will make you weak. That's why good times create weak men, right? So that's why, ultimately, when the hard times become a thing again, who is it ultimately comes up but your average Joe that ends up becoming the new rich folk because of that? DPS says handouts are the only way to advance. Handouts are... Trying to make handouts a thing as a policy, if you ask me, has done more damage to anyone who has to work for a living because it takes away the one advantage you have, that being you actually have to earn your shit for a living and you're used to what it's like.
To be honest,
says,
if something serious happens now, and we have to depend on the people that were given handouts, we'll be screwed as a species.
That is true. Siege says correct. DPS says everything. Working hard isn't something to be praised. Yeah, it absolutely is. It absolutely is. It is a massive advantage when it comes to being able to make a living. It is a massive advantage in being able to advance. That's why the rag to rich story is always something that deserves nothing but praise, because it's the idea that your average regular Joe can start from nothing and basically conquer his own existence, really.
I mean, you have only to look at this comic, ironically enough. Look at how hard these people have worked. This is going to end at some point, and no one is going to ever hire these people again.
DPS says...
This is something that is going to last for however long this bullshit is going to be alive, and then it is gone. Handouts don't work.
Yeah, they don't. Like, here's another example. The U.S. education system spends more per student than any other country on the entire planet. Are you going to argue that the handouts and the government aid and all of that makes the U.S. government's education system better than everywhere else in the world?
No.
Exactly! DPS says rags to riches story should be absolutely demonized. It's an opiate for... No, what is an opiate for the masses is the handouts. It's easy to beg for money. It's easy to just sit on your ass and take drugs all day. It's easy to do a lot of shit like that.
If you take the easy path, the moment that you have to take the hard one, you are done.
DPS says the students are the problem, not the schools. Not sure I agree with that. I mean, you could argue that there are bad students. I would counter by saying that a good teacher can mold a bad student into a good one. Part of the problem is the education staff in the U.S. these days is admittedly not very good. Like, here's the thing. The teachers, you have to remember, come from, I think it's the bottom 3% of college graduates in the U.S. Compare this to, say, countries like Finland, where they're in the top 10% instead. In my high school, there were teachers there were high school teachers for history that couldn't tell you which countries fought on which side in World War I. To the tune that I was actively correcting them. and they were telling me that I should get a scholarship, or that I should basically graduate college with a degree in history before I could actually counter them. They were literally making the argument that because they had the piece of paper that arbitrarily said that they sucked off someone's dick hard enough, that they magically know more about history than everyone else. When they can't even get the name of the right country, when they couldn't even tell you which countries were fighting on which sides in World War One.
Having a paper that says you are good at something doesn't mean that you are good at something. Just means you have a fucking paper. I mean,
DPS says...
I remember one of the best teachers I ever had, and it was an English teacher. Ironically, because they are usually horrible in Spain. And you know what? The guy was one of the last of his kind. If one of the students was harassing or screwing around or doing everything he was not supposed to do, bam, hit on the head. A lot of people complain. A lot of the students I went with went from being assholes to straight and active students that did not want to mess around, because that guy knew how to be a teacher. He was slightly violent, but he knew how to talk and how to act. Teachers nowadays don't. And I know that a lot of people are going to say that is not a good teacher if he has to hit a student. But have you seen some of the students that there are in schools nowadays?
Yes,
the violence
I have.
they bring and how uppity they are.
I've seen it.
There is no discipline anymore.
Basically, if I had to summarize this entire situation, I'd say that socialism makes everything fucking worse. The socialists deserve to be demonized as the scourge of the working class that they are. And make no mistake, there's a reason why a lot of working class Joes fucking hate socialists. Because people who actually work for a living, a lot of them tend to actually know what the hell's going on. We're at the stage now, right, where I'd say we're starting to get to the stage now where being a normie is actually a increasing rarity. Because to be a normie, you basically have to ignore every single piece of media that has come out in the last 2 decades. You have to ignore the news agencies completely. DPS says, who said anything about socialism? Well, how about this? The idea that you need handouts because you think that the working class are inferior subhumans in your mind, DPS, to the point that you don't even think they have basic autonomy. How about that? The collectivist mindset that a person would have to view the people who are working class as subhuman automatons that don't actually have basic agency. That's a good example.
I mean, if you advocate for living off handouts, that means that you think that people cannot work to make a living. Sometimes it is a lot of hard work. Sometimes it might not pay as much as you want. But if you advocate for handouts, you mean that that person doesn't have to work or try.
DPS says autonomy requires money. Autonomy requires money. Actually, no. I had to actually be living in a tent for a while. I can fucking tell you for a fact that you can be autonomous without it if it really came down to it. What you require is knowledge, and knowledge is not useless. It's qualifications without knowledge that is actually useless, because you prove that you can't actually do the job if you don't have the knowledge. You're left like these artists and writers here that don't know what the hell they're doing, making an absolute embarrassment of themselves and destroying the Star Wars lore.
Aren't we talking about Homer Simpson here? Someone that has technically been credited with the ability to maintain or at least keep safe a nuclear power plant, but has none of the knowledge to do so. In real life, that will not end well.
DPS says, we can't make a worthwhile living just by working. What do you think it is when an artist creates pieces of art that lives on long after his death? Do you not think that's work? Because I think it is.
Well, it is.
DPS says, qualifications without knowledge allow you to scrape by and make money. Yeah, but is really anyone really going to give a shit about you after you're dead and gone? If that's your merit.
No, not really.
You're going to be forgotten. Or at the very best, you're going to be a lesson to everyone else on what not to do.
I mean, if you are lucky, and that is not really good luck in this case, you are going to be living forever in the midst of people by telling them, don't be like this idiot. He fucked up for everyone else.
DPS also says, knowledge without qualifications just leave you resentful of the world around you. Actually, no. You want to know the people who tend to be the most, like I said, one of the demographics that happen to be absolutely resentful are the college professor types and whatnot, the people in education. Short Fat Otaku's actually been talking about this himself from his own personal experience, how these education professors and whatnot are extremely bitter at the world because they expect to just be handed everything because of their qualifications. Despite the fact that they don't a lot of these people just that are bitter just don't put any effort in. Don't actually work or actually do the bit necessary to gain the knowledge to be able to do a good job.
Why try? If they just want handouts?
Yeah, I know. DPS says, artists are social leeches who can only be successful with lottery winning luck. No, the people who are the leeches are the socialist propagandists demanding that everyone needs a handout because these socialist propagandists think that the working class are literally subhuman. I actually respect the working class. Luck and connections are everything. Tell that to the Romanovs in Tsarist Russia, who got their brains blown out.
Well, they had a lot of connections, that's for sure.
They ended up getting most of their connections all over the walls.
And again, he's right. Look is everything because they did not have any. But seriously, this is getting far too heavy.
DPS says because not being paid what we're worth totally means... Yeah, you literally made the argument that you think that working class people do not have agency. You literally made the argument that they are not capable of handling their own lives in any way whatsoever. You made the argument that I have no control over my life, right? You ended up proving my point, DPS, that you think that the working class are subhuman. That is what your position is.
Well, will it not be the opposite if you live with handouts? I mean, the moment you don't have them, you are screwed. You absolutely have no control after that.
DPS says not having agency means we're... I mean, that is one of the things that makes a human being is agency. Hell, it's something that even animals have, right? Like, a dog can have its own agency to some degree. And you're saying that the working class don't even have that. Alright? That is absolutely... We can't handle our lives because... Yeah, you were given the opportunity. You just wasted it, DPS, because you're a shit person. I don't know what more to tell you on that. Right? You've been... And also he says, likewise, those leading the revolution have money connections. Right, so when Joseph Stalin grew up in an abusive household, was constantly on the run from the law, and constantly got arrested time and time again, that was him having connections and being lucky, wasn't it? I don't like Joseph Stalin. I think he was a fucking piece of shit. I will say though that he did at least come from a working Joe background, if nothing else.
I mean, he was not exactly a good person, but he worked towards what he wanted to achieve.
DPS says...
We didn't like what he wanted to achieve, but he tried.
Yeah. Yokai says, is this DPS guy actually a human? Because the comments sound like a chat bot. DPS says, oh, you mean the same way that as soon as you don't have a job... Again, right? There was a time where I was living in a fucking tent, right? And I've come a long way from there. I have built my own work. Here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing that socialists don't seem to get, is that by their own definition, if you have a lemonade stand, you're in fact bourgeoisie. Because you run a business. You own means of production. If you have a 3D printer, you can make models out of that, from that. Therefore, you're not a proletariat, you're bourgeoisie. Hell, if you own a house, you can rent a room in that house, meaning that you're not proletariat, you're bourgeoisie. The technical term is petty, but the point is, by the socialist definition of what a bourgeoisie and a proletariat is, the proletariat do not fucking exist anymore. You could argue it was a myth that they existed in the first fucking place, because you could always start your own business up. You could mow your own lawn, start mowing lawns, and make money that way. There have been people that have become millionaires, just got their start mowing lawns, and then made a business out of it.
You need a lot of effort to get to that point.
Almost like you could call it hard work.
Of course. If you don't want to work hard or put the effort, that's on you.
Winners King says, DPS, you can have a job without being screwed. DPS says, most businesses are doomed for failure.
Well, I mean, that is defeatist.
Ah, yes, so most people failed, therefore you should never try in the first place. Well, leave aside the fact that it used to be that the majority of people were self-employed, say, back in the 19th century in the U.S., for example. But the fact that businesses tend to fail means you should never try in the first place. We'll also leave aside the fact that you can always make a new business when the last one failed. I know people who are in the restaurant business, and this is their third or so time getting into it. And because they've kept doing it, they've still got a living, right? Sometimes it is a matter of try again. DPS says you're basically justifying gambling. Yeah, and you're justifying being a fucking failure, right? That's the thing.
I think you are wrong on that. Because to fail, you have to try. He's asking not to try.
I'd say that refusing to try is an automatic failure anyways.
Well, yes. You're not wrong there.
Siege says, after becoming a partner in another business earlier this year doesn't pay the bills yet, but getting there. Yep. By socialist definition, all farmers are bourgeois. Yes, they are. That is absolutely true. Yeah,
I mean,
to be
to speak about what Sid you said, my mother a long time ago bought herself a small shop, and she sold things to children. You know, the usual gum and other sugary treats, the usual corner store. You know, it did not give money at first. It was hard, and it did not go anywhere because we have to sell at some point. But she tried. She made quite a lot of money at the time. And she was happy. You have to try and see if it works or not. If you don't try, why are you complaining? You are not attempting to do anything.
All right, DPS says, being a failure is the state of the vast majority of people, and accepting that needs to be normalized.
No.
How about fuck you, DPS? No, fuck that nonsense. I mean, imagine saying, seriously.
the idea that you have to accept that you are a failure without even trying is,
All right,
to me,
DPS.
is
Here's the thing.
stupid.
Okay, DPS. If you want to normalize being accepted as a failure, if you want handouts in the form of free food, free clothes, free housing, and free healthcare, I have just the fucking place for you in the United States right now. It is a place that is your utopia. It will grant you all of that and more. It will also grant you security. You want to know what that place is called? Prison.
Yes, it was either that or, well, maybe not California anymore. Well, could you not
DPS
go to
says-
New York?
DPS says, if I try, I'll just be blamed for my failure, even if it was outside my control. I'll be worse off. Will you really, though? Because here's the thing, right? Like I said, I know people who this is their third try in the restaurant business. I wouldn't actually call them worse off for it. They actually have their own business up and running, and it's actually doing reasonably well from what I've seen. And yeah, sometimes experience is a very useful tool, even if you don't really win. As the old saying goes, there is one lesson in victory and 1,000 in defeat. If you take on board what worked and what didn't, then you could, in the next time, make a better showing of it.
Yeah,
DPS says, prison is on the table of things if shit gets bad enough for me. DPS, why are you calling prison bad? It's guaranteeing everything you want. It's your personal utopia. You're getting free healthcare, free food, free housing, free clothes. You're getting security in as well. Hell, you don't even have to freeze because the weather's always the same in there.
Hell, if you want, you can learn shit in prison too.
Technically, yes. Yes, you can. Not necessarily good things, but hey, if you're the sort of person that's resolved to wanting to normalize failure, well...
Look,
DPS says, I also want comfort. DPS says, I also want comfort. DPS, don't you know comfort is subjective? I mean, you're guaranteed to have the same weather all year round while you're inside. You don't have to you don't have to lift a single finger for the rest of your life. You get fed, you get your housing, you get health care. And you're guaranteed these things. You won't have to worry about them anymore. Isn't that what socialists think of when they think of comfort?
Oh my god.
DPS says, and a free sleeping schedule. Bro, in prison, the inmates tend to sleep till 3 fucking p.m. in the afternoon. DPS says, seriously, staying awake is a full day is brutal.
Oh god. This is becoming beyond ridiculous.
Oh, the jokes are writing themselves. Yokai says max security. That's another thing, by the way. If you knew anything about how prisons are actually run and whatnot, turns out quality food, food that the inmates will actually be happy with, is a way to keep them docile. As is shit like TV, cell phones, and tablets. And yes, they have all of those in prison, for the record. Siege says, it's wild that I feel more helpful here in South Africa. This are funny. Alright. This broke my grammar. Okay. I think we are finally done with that. I can actually get on with the comic. Honestly, maybe it's just me, but I found that deviation to be way more entertaining than the actual comic itself.
It was. I mean, the comic is going to just get worse. This conversation could go anywhere. The comic is going to go downhill.
All right, let's continue.
Where were we?
I think I know where we are. I'll just start over from the second panel here.
Okay.
We're gallivanting around the galaxy, taking out people who've helped destroy Corellia as we know it. You've seen Bucknell's plans, what he's about to do. Lots of people will suffer. It won't be safe for actual living beings when he's done with it. Just megacorps and tourists. Doesn't he fit the bill? Peace, our victory, it's hanging by a thread, Rue. We do that, and Nihil sympathizer steps into the power vacuum. The Nihil get a foothold on a core planet. The Republic burns to the ground. Then everything we fought for, killed for, sacrificed for.
Well, at least she confirmed it in the end.
Yeah.
She has been killing people.
Yeah. And not just us, but everyone in this galactic fight against the Nihil. It would all be for nothing. The Arco Royale Cantina. Republic Defense Coalition Outpost. Briefrang City, Iradiu. Alright. Winter's King says, so weird. Seed says, this is the stuff that does so bad, but we care more about. DPS says, man, this is a rough period of peace, isn't it? Yes, it is. It's almost like they had to insert a whole bunch of nonsense to try to make the story fit in the first place.
You know, like they had a lot of plot holes everywhere. Strange.
Yeah. Winter's King says, is the white-haired emo literally the devil on her shoulder? What is he? I
don't know.
Alright, let's carry on. Alright, I think that's your character, so.
Perhaps. Memories are what will make me those 100,000 lights you see. And see it's a raging sea of memories that make up me. What the fuck?
Writing!
Oh, yeah, I see.
Oh, look, Lula. I'm only in town for a quick minute on business, so I'll get right down to it.
Okay, let me... Of course, anything you need.
But first, I just wanted to say, we never met before.
Oh my... Ace, are you alive?
Yes, I am.
You sure? Because it looks like you are about to faint.
How can you? I'm not live, am I? Or I'm not on screen.
No,
I don't have a camera. Okay. All right. Anyways, let's get this pain through. We never met before, you know, everything. But Zine talks about you so much I feel like I know you, and I'm just so happy you're alive and okay.
Thank you. Zine talks about you all the time, too. So believe me, it's mutual.
Okay, phew. Glad we got that out of the way. So, I don't know how good your memory is of before Starlight fell. Not good, I hear, but we're tracking down the Nihil leader responsible for plunging Corellia into war, and... Does this guy look familiar?
Oh, not exactly. I don't think so.
Yeah, you can do this character.
Okay.
Excuse me. I am Fabai Yitri, entertainment and gastronomical specialist here at the Arco Royale.
Okay, and?
Your creepy bodyguard is unnerving the customers with his perplexing eyes and chaotic smile.
He's just standing there, menacingly! Okay, and?
Permission to flirt with him?
What the fuck?
Exactly!
Ah,
Oh, you'd have to ask him that, really.
There is so much pain in this little robot.
Yes, let's continue and get this over with quickly. There she is. Come here, you. Zine, I always knew you were a star. Nah, just trying to keep up with your actual icon of a girlfriend.
please. You were born for the lights.
Yeah. What brings y'all out to the edge of nihil space? And as you know, my team has been handling everyone involved with the Corellia infiltration. So I'm here about someone we'd be, doing that to.
What?
Seems you knew this particular person once, and maybe were best friends with them. Name is Crix Camerat. Who?
Your best fucking friend? Before you choked him? I mean?
Yeah, that. DPS says, what do I even say about that robot? Yeah, I know. Well, remind me never to get on your bad side, Zine. So, you don't mind if we, Never heard of that guy. Do whatever you want.
Wow.
What a bitch.
And it is surprising that both murderers like each other, at least as friends.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that face. That was the last face I saw as the world caught fire, and we feel and feel and feel.
Hey, it's okay. You're here now. You're with us. You're safe, my love. Look, I have to be here with her. But whatever we can get you, whatever you need, it's yours. Shh. I
think that is the big guy.
All right. Crash, come in. Was that a go? Please confirm. Come in, Crash. Please respond. Crash. Crash.
Crash? Off. Crash, hey. You were crying in your sleep again. Babe, what's going on? What are you dreaming about? Talk to me.
No, I just...
When do we get to live our lives? To just be.
Alright, let's see what Siege said here real quick. Who speaks like this? Winter's King says, that's some writing. No, I don't know. Winter's King says, wow, again, they're all murderers. Siege says to Winter's King, incredible, isn't it? Literally what Siege said, who talks like this. Holy fuck, what? Was that a flashback? Where the hell are we? Good question. I'm trying. You know I am.
What's the game? What is the end game, Crash? When is it over?
This. Crix is the last one. That's it. Remind me again. Remind you of what? Why I agreed to go along with the worst plan you've ever come up with. Hush, you don't have the Force. You'll be fine. You have the Force, you'll be fine. How does it all go again? Oh, it's simple, but come on. I'll explain on the way down. Let's see if she explains on the way down. They're re-entering a fucking planet's atmosphere with fucking spacesuits!
Let me tell you, that doesn't work.
I mean, it's still not as bad as that one character entering the atmosphere with just her body and still somehow surviving. But
At this point, do you put anything beyond these guys?
no.
Good boy.
Siege says they stole his face, no peace. Winter's King says, wait a second. Is this lefty writer's fantasy about removing anyone connected to Jan 6? Oh. Oh! Oh!
Who knows?
DPS says, have you never played Halo 3 at Total Over? Okay. Two things. First of all, Master Chief's power armor is not the same as the spacesuits that they have in Star Wars. Second of all, he barely survived. As in, the armor locked up on entry. They thought he was dead when he re-entered. It was not something the armor was actually meant to do.
I mean, it is not something not even Space Marines in 40k could do. At least not well.
Yeah. It was considered a big deal in the original Gundam that the mobile suit could do it, much less an actual, just the actual pilot suit itself. You don't do it with Atlases, for example, in Battletech. There's a reason why this shit is exceedingly rare in terms of sci-fi universes that allow this sort of thing. Siege says Commander Shepard would like a word. Witness King. Okay, so Siege says what? All right, so let's continue with this stupidity.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
DPS says don't defend Halo 3. It was pretty dumb there too. At least you could argue that Master Chief was mostly machine by that point. And maybe the machine was reinforced to such a degree that it could theoretically survive something ridiculous like that.
I mean, these are two spacesuits with a jump pack. This is not going to work.
No. I know that. Anyways, let's carry on. The drone patrols of Ursham Prison cover the area immediately above it, but they only go so high because they don't expect anyone with a brain to jump out of ship in actual space. Basically, yeah, even this comic is admitting that this is fucking stupid.
So you are telling me that who we might consider the bad guys are using brains and the heroes, technically speaking, aren't?
Yes.
We are on the wrong side here. Let's go on, please. I want this done.
Yeah. Don't know which is more unnerving, crash, the fall itself, or how calm you are about it. I'm going through a reckless phase. Either it'll pass or I will. Anyway, then we just wait for the right moment. Turn off our jetpacks so they don't catch any wandering eyes. And on again just enough to not break every bone in our body when we land. This is absurd.
Yes,
I love
what
how
is re-entry?
Yes! I know it's absurd.
This is, and I don't believe I can say this with this comic, but this is the most retarded thing we have read.
I'm not sure. I mean, we still have the one person crash landing onto a planet with her bare body and still surviving. That is worse.
Yes,
but this is up there.
that's true.
This is up there.
I mean, second or third place at least.
Yeah.
I am regretting so many things today, Ace.
Yeah. Winter's King says, these people aren't heroes. So is this comic intended to be a tragedy, or are they supposed to be heroes and they just failed? I think they failed.
Do you think they tried?
Yeah, I don't think they tried. I mean, does this look like they tried to you?
No.
Winter's King. Okay, so Yokai says Shepard was dead. Cerberus literally resurrected him or her from the Deet. All right. DPS says the heroes are using their ability to break logic to progress the plot, and they act like they're aware of that. Siege is laughing. Yes, it is incredible. The only character that I know of that survived Crash Landing is Max Steel, but he is Max Steel.
Good point.
Siege says we may need a whole stream to find out, otherwise these will slow us down. They're using orc logic to win. Oh, God, I hate the fact that that is accurate to this.
You know, if an orc did it, I will not be even mad.
It would be funny.
Yes.
Then we stash our jet suits somewhere out of the way. Thank Zine for hooking us up with a map of this awful place. Then you hole up somewhere in case I need backup, and I go find this clown sack and end him. Got it. And pickup is in 1 hour. Vizonk is doing a flyby, and he's not stopping because they're sure to light us up on the way out. So don't be late and stay off the comms while we're in here. Too risky. I'll be here. You worry about you. Yeah.
Ace, they are on a fucking prison. And they are walking around like nothing is wrong.
Yeah, no one is going to question them at any point. Siege says, still no face. Yeah, I saw that. I was waiting for you on that.
Okay, let's...
So I gave this character also the 90s kid with attitude voice. So I'm going to do before. So I'm going to give him the same voice here. Thus, the fiduciary powers of the legislative branch have historically been curtailed by a host of irreconcilable... Huh? Oh, I know who you are. Wait, really? Who am I? You got my petition, and you're here to recruit me and test my skills first. Maybe test my skills first. Let's pretend I don't know what the cark you're talking about, just so I can make sure we're on the same page. Explain. You're a Republic intelligence officer, aren't you? I knew my petition would get to you eventually if I kept sending it. I'll lay it all out for you, even though you've probably heard it in my messages, but it's better in person. I became an intelligence asset. No one was as close to Mark Yonro, the leader of the Nihil, as I was. He basically adopted me. I can get close again. I can take him out for you. Boom. I don't know, poison or something? A cake with a thermal detonator in it? Whatever. Only I can pull that off, and you know it. From there, the escalation is meteoric. Everyone loves an underdog. I rise from a lowly Nihil to the savior of the Republic. I'll marry my childhood sweetheart in a massive ceremony seen from Coruscant to the Oz, and our love unites a torn galaxy. The Senate will have no choice but to elect me Chancellor. Who else can heal the jagged divide? I have fought and bled for both sides. I inherently understand their causes. The artwork is still terrible on this, and I'm wondering if this is not some sort of elaborate April Fool's joke on the part of Daniel Jose Older.
I don't know, man, but this is painful.
And this
is
artwork.
So painful.
This artwork is fucking awful, too. Siege says, we need emojis. Everyone is awkward. All is pain. Winter's King says, wow, all of these are insane. Siege is like, yes, these are insane.
I mean, this guy didn't have the best character in the world before. How did you finally destroy it like this?
I will usher in a new era of peace and understanding. where the Nihil and Republic citizens will live side by side in harmony. Sweet song of the abyss, these little boys and their delusions of grandeur. Okay, I know I'm going to regret this, but that part about you being adopted by Markion Row, was that true or just some old junk you told yourself in your head to manage your own issues? You can ask your comrades in the confiscated possessions room for proof. The helmet I donned was a Nihil. It was almost identical to the Eye's own helmet. In fact, he wore it as a child and gave it to me himself. He saw within me the same qualities he honed to become what he is. And I saw him as something of a father figure, I suppose. Which is what made his betrayal singe even more potently. Which is why I will make him pay, and pay until he is nothing but a stain on my boot. Whoa. Okay, dial it back a notch, Budzo. Budzo! Fucking Budzo.
Yes. Didn't expect much better.
Yokai says, I don't know, this is so painful to just hear. And Winter's King says, I mean, he is a clown, not that the murderess is any better. Please go back to No Faces, says Yokai. Seed says, background is a copy of the last two BS pages. What a waste of time. What is happening? Too much texto. Yes. Oh my god! It is basically just reversed. Holy shit, are they lazy?
Is it getting even worse?
Yes.
That is an achievement.
It is getting worse. Can it please end soon? Okay, we aren't too much far out.
Come on, Ace. The final push.
I'm checking to see if there's any other pages they've copied because my god. Okay. Let's continue. All right, look, I'm not sorry. All right, look, I'm not Republic intelligence, and if you get anywhere near your childhood sweetheart, I'll do what I came here to do, which is end you. But you and I share a near impossible goal. You may well be the only person around who can get close enough to take the madman to take a shot. Crash? Come on, Crash, where are you? Is that... Zoom. Crash, whatever you're thinking, absolutely not. Hi. Rue, wait, man, put that... Hey! What? Alright, you voice this character.
Yeah, to give you at least a small reprieve. Hey, what's going on down there?
Chum. I love how she immediately trusts this character, too.
Well, we didn't say any of these characters were smart.
No, in fact, they flat out admitted to being dumbasses when they landed on this planet with fucking jetpacks.
Yes.
Wait, what are you waiting for? Return fire. Should be any second now. Yep, I already regret this. We're not shooting Republic prison guards.
Open fire!
Cha-chum, cha-chum, cha-chum. Then give me a blaster so I can. Not on your life. Can we at least put a gag on him, please? No time. They're here, come on! Thum, thum. Wait! No! They're just carrying him without a spacesuit into space!
Yes. Do you think they give a shit anymore? And Nace is dead, people.
Alright, they're arriving. Let's move.
Wait, who's...
1, 2, 3. What?
What
Did you do, Crash?
And yes, if there was any doubt, the spaceship was, of course, in space.
Yes. DSP says, but the stupid worm asteroid in ESP. Okay, I think it was heavily implied that the insides of the worm had its own little atmosphere of some sort. You know, what with all the mist and fog around the place. Which means it's pressurized. And even then, I will say this, right? I will say this. Technically speaking, you could have a personal atmosphere shield, basically, that keeps the atmosphere around you. That could, in theory, cover your body. Or at least cover certain parts of it. And keep you safe that way. I mean, if you look at the Rebellion pilots in the original trilogy, that's why they could get away with having helmets where you could actually see their faces. Because they actually had this little piece of technology, which meant that they could turn that on and protect themselves from space if they ever had to eject. That still requires you to be wearing the piece of technology, though.
Yeah, not, prison clothes.
Yes. And I'm sure if there is any place where you would not be wearing clothes that could protect you from space, would be a prison planet.
Yeah, because they don't want you escaping.
Yes!
Okay, let's continue because I was going to say something very bad.
Okay. Siege says, what is perspective? What are backgrounds? It's like looking at ink bed rough. There was no time or motivation to care. I'm pretty sure there wasn't. I'm pretty sure that Disney right now is losing money on these comics. And they are just trying to hurry them out as quickly as possible to cut their losses.
I don't know why they still make them. At this point, it will be cheaper to not do anything.
It would be, but they're not doing that now, are they?
No, they aren't.
All right, let's carry on with this pain, shall we?
Okay. Why would you bring this malignant bed sore on our ship? What are you thinking?
Look, this is our one shot at taking out the Eye of the Nihil. This is the only way we'll ever get closer to him. We've lost nearly everything because of this war. They tried to take our home. They almost did. They still could. We'd let this go unanswered. All we're doing is making sure it happens again and much worse the next time.
You said he was the last one.
That was before I knew that he could get us to the one guy that's behind all of this. Not just in Corellia, but the whole galaxy.
That's madness, Crash. Not even the Jedi could do that. You can't. We can't.
We can.
Crash, you can't keep chasing ghosts forever. Crash.
Shunk. Okay.
We see you are really hunting, Crash.
Do it. Continued in the High Republic Adventures, Crash and Burn, coming August 2024. No!
Oh my fucking
It's
God.
not even a real one-shot. They're gonna be bringing a part 2. No! It's not even a one-shot. Those bastards lied to me.
Not a surprise at this point. This was dog shit.
DPS says, "Nah, I was just pointing out that what I imagined the justification was for the way Disney had been treating space and Star Wars." Yokai says, "It's implied that the Millennium Falcon has its own shield that can hold on." Yeah, that too, I think. Siege says, 2 women turning their backs on a potential enemy, 2 lesbians fighting. DPS says, Crash and Bird, what a fitting name. Yes!
That is true.
Siege says, no, God, no, please, God, no, no. Yes, that too. They are willing to spend more money on this. Let them cook. Okay, let's see what the next page brings us. The end. Thank God.
Look, when you have a story that is so bad that the only way you can fill your plot holes is with more plot holes and add more shit into it, it stops being funny at some point. I mean, I am sure that even the comments on the site is going to say that this is dog shit. And people come here to like these comics.
I'm curious to see what it says. Let's find out.
Oh my God.
Okay. Okay, some of the comments, thank God. Legion of Dave says, the art is terrible. Thank you! Hero Fan says, this whole ass project is a big nothing burger. And all the marketing was lying too. Where is the great sci-fi epic story they announced? Where are the cool conflicts? Where are the good fight scenes? Where is anything that has a remotely point of decent quality? It's the same Disney shit we've been pumping out for last 10 years. This should be controversial too. Just how much of it was promised it wasn't delivered. Yes, thank you. Calm Contradiction says, can't lie, that was awful. Yes, yes it was. Sarder says, if you took the logo off this garbage, no one would ever guess it's a Star Wars product. The standard of quality has dropped measurably. Yes. Joey Jeffrey says, I love the High Republic. I am the audience. This was dog shit. Even High Republic fans are shitting on this.
Do you remember the first comics? They had good comments that people like it. The tables have turned.
Siege says the best page of the comic. Yeah, the very end, which was basically just a blank logo, is the best page of this comic. Even beating out the cover art. Fucking hell.
That was not hard.
Yokai says, so we're talking about Kingdom Hearts, the plot hole of plot holes. At least Kingdom Hearts has the excuse of being a sort of, we're throwing everything in here just for the sake of it. It's basically, at least Kingdom Hearts has the defense of being fan service, the video game, basically, with all these different settings that they just throw in. You're not really, at least, what I'm saying is at least Kingdom Hearts, it's meant to be fun and not taken seriously.
I mean, with Kingdom Hearts, at least I get entertained. With this, I lost my time.
Winter's King says, what sins has America committed to have God punish us like this? I'd rather deal with Attila than this garbage. Can we please bring Attila the Hun back and just have him go to Los Angeles and say, have fun?
That will be entertaining. And deserved.
DPS says Kingdom Hearts without the character moments people liked. Okay. Siege says they are being kind. I have no such limitation. Is this the worst High Republic comic that's ever been made? No.
Oof, it is closed.
Is this pretty atrocious? Yes. Do I
Yes.
recommend reading it? No. I would still say that something like issue number 5 of High Republic Adventures is worse than this.
But at
I
this
would-
point, they are trying, eh?
I would argue that Shadows of Starlight is worse than this. Because Shadows of Starlight, right? At least this, most of the stupidity is self-contained to idiot characters being idiots. It's not stuff that breaks other bits of lore, except for them being able to fly to the fucking planet with a fucking jetpack. But sorry.
And then, remember, fly back into the ship with someone that doesn't even have a fucking spacesuit.
That too. Yes. So yeah, it does break lore a little bit, and it
little
deserves
bit.
every bit of birch that it gets thwacked with over that. However,
This was horrible.
yes, it was. It was absolutely horrible.
But
Siege says, hashtag bring
keep on
it to-
ripping it a new asshole. It was entertaining.
It was a little entertaining, I have to admit, for all the wrong reasons.
Yes. By the way, we did stay on this comic for 2 hours in the end.
God. Okay. Admittedly, part of that was the highlight of this entire stream, the deviation away from this comic,
Yes.
which was way more entertaining than the actual comic itself. But even if we took that out, I'm still pretty sure that we're left with what, an hour and a half of us tearing this comic a new asshole. Which is
be
impressive
perfect-
even by higher... Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, to be perfectly honest, ripping this a new asshole is the only entertainment there is. Because the dialogue is atrocious, the art is vomitive, and the comic in general is not fit to the fire.
If someone threw this into a dumpster fire, I would be more afraid of the noxious fumes coming from this comic than the actual dumpster. And the garbage that preceded it.
You know what is really sad about this comic?
What?
You put this on paper. You desecrate corpses. The corpses of trees to make this.
You know what? You're right. Daniel Jose Older, go apologize to that tree for wasting the wood that it worked so hard to produce.
Man, even toilet paper will
You
be
know
a
what?
better
I'll
use
take
than
it a
this.
step further. Daniel Jose Older, while you're at it, also go apologize to the nearest plant for wasting the oxygen it worked so hard to produce.
Yes, because apparently you think you don't need that. And yes, I am going to remember that bit about being able to breathe in space forever.
DPS says, you ever seen a blobfish, one of those, but dried? How the person they dragged up in space should have been? Yes, unironically. Siege says, I cannot give an objective review of the High Republic so far. It's literally impossible. Oh god, maybe this is some brilliant critique of objective reviews on the part of Disney. Maybe this was all some grand scheme to completely get rid of the concept of objective reviews by making the worst shit possible that you can't even review it properly. No, they're not that smart.
At this point, I don't think there is almost anyone that is going to review this as good. Everything is going to be bad or horrible or trash. There is no one that is going to be neutral about this.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see. Winter's King says, just summarize this to a coworker who laughed and agreed it sounded terrible. Yokai says, yeah. Yokai says, you desecrate nature to make that garbage. Siege says, if they are really all eco-friendly publishers, it might be good for compost bedding for worms. It feels like a cruel fate to bestow upon the worms, though, doesn't it? Siege
I
says,
mean, I am pretty sure the worms don't want this. Just saying.
Siege says, it feels like a literal waste of resources and man hours. It is. DPS says, an objective review requires being able to retain the information contained within, but all this is in one eye and out the other. I wish it would leave me that quickly.
Oh no, we are going to remember this for the wrong reasons.
Yes. And I'm going to be making shorts out of this. I might have lost connection there, but we're back. Siege says, I have not changed my mind. DPS says, don't feel bad for the worms. They don't have eyes to read this trash with. So yeah, is there anything else you'd like to add to this discussion, Oros?
Yes, but it is something that I have to say to you mostly.
Okay.
When the sequel to this one-shot comes, don't call me to read it.
I will try not to. Unfortunately, everyone was busy today.
I mean, I am not complaining, but just one of the two. I refuse the other. Because this was not the worst thing we have read here, but it tried. It tried so hard.
Yes, it did.
I don't want anyone else to read this. I don't want anyone to write more about this. But for some reason, we are going to have another comic of this trash.
Yes, we are.
So the only thing I have to say is, this is heresy.
Yes, it is.
Anything else you want to say about this, or are we done with this crap?
I think we're done here. So yeah,
Good.
do not read this. Do not give Disney any money for this. They do not deserve it. And yeah, that's all that really needs to be said. So yeah, this has been Ace.
And this has been Uros.
Thank you for being on, Uros.
Whenever you need, man, but it hurts.
Yes, it does. Yokai says, call Osmogon. I miss cringing at this. Yes.
I am pretty sure if you have brought Asmogan for this one, he will stop talking to you.
I will tell him the fans demand it. And I'm not one to disappoint. To look at the bright side, it won't have to be immediately, right? It will only be in August that the next issue comes out.
It is far too close, man.
Yes.
Anything is far too close.
Yes. So, yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and call it. So, yeah. This has been Ace.
And this has been Uros.
And we both hope to see you all again soon. Until then, take care. Ace out.